The National Treasury says it has received positive feedback from the Financial Action Task Force. The FATF Progress Report indicates improvement in addressing technical compliance. Of FATF's 40 recommendations or standards, South Africa is now compliant in 34 of them. And while opposition parties agree that key legislative amendments to tighten financial laws in the country have been made, they say they are yet to see tangible results.
We certainly have not seen anything in the Finance Committee. So we've had no report or anything in the Finance Committee as to what this so-called progress actually is. Now, we did pass legislation, as you would probably know, on the financial matters, and there does certainly seem to have been improvement in that. So the regulations and strengthening the technical laws, basically, to be able to intercept illicit cash flows, the proceeds of terrorism and that kind of illicit movement. So the mechanism is in place, but the big question is the mechanism then actually effectively policed? And that seems to be the big issue. So we haven't seen a report in finance. I will ask for a progress report, as I usually do, because it's been quite a while now.
While progress has been made, the question is whether this is sufficient. We believe not. What is concerning is that South Africa has dropped 2 points on the 2023 Corruption Perception Index. We seem to be moving in the wrong direction, despite additional resources having been made available to the criminal justice sector. The ACDP believes that what is urgently required is successful prosecutions and jail time, orange overalls for all those involved in state capture and corruption, and the recovery of the billions of rand stolen. Despite the best endeavours, we don't see sufficient evidence of this. The ACDP trusts, however, that there will be better news before the FATF reconsiders South Africa's grey listing next year in 2025.
Legislative amendments were the General Laws Amendment Act and the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorism and Related Activities Amendment Act. COSATU, which made submissions to Parliament's Financial Committee when the legislation was being processed, says it wants to see more action taken against those allegedly involved in illicit activities.
We have yet to see any real big fish and not many small fish, all either going to prison. So I think that's been the big concern of international communities, that yes, you have fine laws, etc., they're good, etc., but are you really committed to implementing them?
He says there have been challenges in investigating and prosecuting complex money laundering and terrorism matters. Parks adds that the impact of grey listing on the economy has been devastating.
There is a consequence. And what does that mean at the end of the day for workers? Well, it means we have a 41% unemployment rate. Look, it could be much worse, but our unemployment rate could also be much better if we could have attracted that additional investment. So we're just making our life more difficult.
The National Prosecuting Authority is working closely with other government agents and entities to try to rebuild trust and confidence in South Africa's financial system.
We know the harm that's created by initial financial flows. Corruption and money laundering fuel maladministration of public fraud and imperils the capacity of the state to fulfill its most basic obligation to its citizens. This endangers the stability and security of society, and it creates economic harm in a country.
The fallout of grey listing is increased scrutiny by the international finance sector and the country's ability to attract investment. The next FATF follow-up meeting is set for October or November this year. Government has indicated that it aims to get off the grey list in 2025. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.